listening to an exclusive interview on WNS. All right, folks, joining us today, WWE superstar, 7-time women's champion, the queen of WWE, Charlotte Flair. Welcome, Charlotte.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's certainly a pleasure to have royalty on the show. If I would have known, I would have dressed up a little bit better for the occasion. But, you know, being on the phone, I guess it's all right. We're getting ready for a WWE Elimination Chamber taking place this Sunday out of the Toyota Center in Houston. Tickets are still available, and I'm really glad that I got to talk to you because I got to catch Raw and SmackDown this past week. You actually found yourself in a bit of controversy when Mr. McMahon announced that he was not only suspending Becky Lynch, but she was also taking away her WrestleMania match and naming you the new #1 contender to Ronda Rousey. So what was your initial thought when you received the news that you'd be taking that spot?
That it was the best decision he's ever made. How can you have a women's main event at WrestleMania and not have Miss WrestleMania herself there?
Absolutely.
The word controversy, that's not really what I'd be thinking. That's not how I look at the last few days.
More like the right decision. Well, the only reason I use controversy because I kind of see two sides to it. On one side, you know, Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble. She should be able to go on to face the champion of her choosing at WrestleMania.
Becky Lynch entered at number 30 and took someone else's spot after losing to Asuka.
Well, that's what I was getting to. On the other hand, she was not initially part of the Royal Rumble match. She did take Lana's spot after Lana couldn't compete, which ultimately left you as the last true competitor in the ring. So it eventually came down to you and Becky Lynch. So if Becky Lynch was not part of the Royal Rumble to begin with, then you should have been the last woman standing.
100%.
It's being heavily rumored that this match with Ronda Rousey will indeed be the main event of WrestleMania this year. So for you, what would it mean to be able to make history once again as being one of the first female superstars to ever main event WrestleMania?
Oh, man. I don't know. Since I found out, I just wake up every morning and it would mean everything. It's one of those things that I've been saying since I debuted on the main roster and believing that it's really going to happen. I just go, gosh, I just look at how far the women have come, and I can remember my days at FCW in front of 6 or 7 people, then to NXT, and then the storylines I had with the 4 Horsewomen, and just how far we've come, all of us together. It's just incredible. But saying that, when I win, I'm going to dedicate the victory to my good friend, Becky Lynch.
Now, you did mention how far the women's division has come in the past few years. When did you feel that the women's revolution was more of just them saying, hey, we're going to make a few changes, but there were actual change being made? When did you get that feeling?
I feel like at WrestleMania 32, when I won the new Women's Championship and we retired the Divas Championship, which it was an honor to have held the Divas Championship. But I think it was just saying, hey, we're rebranding the division. We're giving it new focus, and this is the direction we're taking. You're no longer called divas. You're superstars. And I loved the term diva, but I just think it was saying, hey, we're going to make some major changes, and every opportunity that we've been given, we have over-delivered, and I think that's why we continue to get these opportunities.
Absolutely, and a fun little fact about you, you did mention the Divas title. You probably know this, but I'm just going to let our listeners know, you are the first and only female superstar to have held the Divas Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and the Raw's Women's Championship. You're the only person who's ever going to do that unless they ever decide to bring back the Divas Championship.
Another reason why it was best for business for Vince to pick me for the main event of WrestleMania. I'm gold.
Absolutely. You rise to the occasion. You came up through NXT and have hit the ground running.
That's pretty cool. It's crazy to think.
Now, if you do end up main eventing WrestleMania, which again it's rumored, but nothing is officially confirmed. But I won't be surprised if this is the main event. If you do go on to win that match, that's sort of the pinnacle of the business. That's every wrestler's dream. I want to win the main event at WrestleMania. So for you, having accomplished so much with this possibly on the horizon, what would you say would be left for you to accomplish aside from doing it again over and over again?
Being a multi-main event WrestleMania main eventer. It's cool to say you did it once, but if you've done it twice, multiple times, that's a big deal.
That's even better,
especially for a woman.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's certainly been a big couple of years in the world of wrestling for women. But we all know the tolls that it takes on the body, on the mind, as far as being on the road so much. So what would you say is one of the most difficult parts of being on the road? Would it be finding good food after a live event, a decent gym, finding a good hotel with a comfy bed?
I guess you could say it just gets lonely sometimes, but you're never alone. It's just so much traveling and airport time and rent-a-car time. But I can honestly say I love what I do. So it's just staying on track and staying motivated, and the ones that, love this through and through, it's not really work. It's just some days are longer than others.
Yeah. As far as traveling on the road, sometimes it's fun to share a ride.
Yeah. It's just like when like if there's a flight delay or there's bad weather when you're driving, that's the only hard part. The wrestling part's the fun part and the best part.
Yeah.
But you just I take care of myself, so I feel like I'm younger now than I was 5 years ago.
Absolutely. And what do you do? Whenever you're in a long stretch of being on the road, do you meal prep? Do you find a place? Do you have food delivered to you? I know that there's food backstage for some of the superstars, but what do you usually like to do?
Well, there's only food backstage at TV. Some people bring meals on the road. I sometimes bring meals, or just find Whole Foods, Fresh Markets, or grocery stores in each town and pack my meals from there, or find a healthy restaurant and get 2 meals to go from there. But it's just a matter of being consistent with what you're eating.
I can imagine that'd be pretty difficult after a live event, and you have to go, drive 3 hours to the next town and go, God, we got to get something to eat. But the only place that's open are, fast food restaurants.
Well, hopefully you are smart enough to get your food before the show.
Definitely. Now, you do obviously work out very, very much. What kind of music would someone find on your workout playlist? Who's your go-to artist?
Oh, my gosh, everything. Celine Dion, Elton John, to Guns N' Roses, to Dixie Chicks, to techno, I have it all.
I can just imagine you in a gym singing out loud, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Yeah, you might see that somewhere.
Now, obviously you being wrestling royalty, your father, we all know very much who he is. So not including your father, who would you say is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Ooh. Present or past?
Either, just top 4. Or you can give us 2, one past, one present.
No, that's too much. Okay. I can't include my dad.
That is correct, because we all know he's one of, if not the greatest of all time.
My Mount Rushmore. Kurt Angle, Dusty Rhodes, AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns.
Ooh, wow. Kind of surprised on that last one. That's a good one. I like that. Now, I did mention at the beginning of the interview that you are a 7-time women's champion. That ties you with Trish Stratus. So for you to be able to tie and eventually surpass, because I'm presuming you've got a lot left in your career, what would you want to try and go for the 16 like your dad, or try to surpass it, or just whenever it happens, it happens?
That isn't something that I think about at all.
Just leave it to however you hold it.
Yes, sir.
It's better
not
to hold
passing Trish totally, but not 16 times. Oof.
That means you got to lose it that many times, right? I mean, that's no good.
I don't know. My dad has a saying for that, but I can't remember exactly how it goes.
Well, that's all right. But we're certainly looking forward to Elimination Chamber. I'm certainly looking forward to see how things play out with you in WrestleMania. You actually stated on SmackDown that you're going to be front row at Elimination Chamber for the Ronda Rousey match with Ruby Riott.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're going to have any backup, but we have seen Becky Lynch make an appearance after being suspended before. So, any chance that you might have eyes in the back of your head during that match?
Do you really think I need backup while she's limping to the ring?
I mean, I know you can hold your own, but you never know.
No, I can't promise that I'm going to behave, but I'm very excited to sit front row at the Toyota Center.
And I know you're looking forward to getting in the ring with Ronda Rousey, the two members of a separate four horsewomen group. Do you think that maybe, you can never say never in the WWE because anything can happen. Do you think one day you'd like to see four horsewomen of yourself, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley going up against Ronda's four horsewomen?
Yeah, after I win the Raw Women's Championship, totally.
Oh, there you go. That'd be something to look forward to. That'd be awesome. Well, like I said, tickets are still available for WWE Elimination Chamber. I certainly want to thank you, Charlotte, for coming on today. I know you've got probably tons more interviews lined up. It's hard being a queen sometimes.
Thank you so much for the great conversation.
Oh, I'm happy to have it. Maybe we can catch up in Houston this Sunday because I know I'll be there for sure.
Totally. Enjoy the show.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to the show again. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.